Getting used to living away from home. Workload.
At BU. It's
a lot.
heavy.
How to choose a roommate. We hate each other. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined with my roommate here.
Hi, I'm Lily.
Today I'm making a video answering all of your questions about BU and college in general. I've gotten a lot of DMs over the past few months, and sometimes I would get the same question like multiple times. So I just decided to make a video and answer all of them and answer like the most popular ones. So let's do it. So I got a lot of questions about dorm life for freshmen and overall how to pick a dorm as a freshman and how dorm life is. So let's talk about it. We have two main freshman dorms at BU. It's called West and Warren.
So West and Warren are on two different sides of campus. Warren's on East Campus and West is on West Campus. Yeah. So West is more of an athletic area. That's where all the the gym is. That's where all the sports stuff. Places to do sports are. And it's like a fun area. There's always something happening, very social. And then Warren is right next to where all classes are, basically. It's very like academically focused, a little quieter, but it's still really fun no matter where you live, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah. So what we did last year when we were freshmen, we lived in Warren, but we had friends in West, so that's where we would go on the weekends. So there's a lot more going on West, but I personally prefer East Campus just because it's more of like a city vibe, and West it's more of a campus vibe. So if you want to like live by a soccer field and like feel like you're actually in a campus, West would be a good one for you. And also if you're an athlete, obviously we would recommend that you live in West. But honestly, like Warren, it's not super isolated. You can still make friends with people in West, and it's not like there's still stuff going on in Warren. There's just more going on in West.
Yeah, it's really up to your preference.
If you're going between the two, I would choose strictly by location. If you want to be closer to classes, if you want to be more in the city, I would say Warren. Dorm life for freshmen. So if you live in one of the two dorms, which we recommend that you live in one of those two dorms because the other ones are more isolated.
It's really easy to make friends if you live in the freshman dorms.
Yeah.
But it's if you're not a super social person, you have a hard time making friends, I wouldn't recommend living anywhere else.
Yeah.
Personally.
If you have a hard time, if you're nervous about making friends, live in the biggest dorm. Dorm life, if you live in one of them, you're gonna have communal bathrooms, which at first I was kind of scared about. But it actually was nice because you never have to clean it. It gets cleaned for you. And also, if you go at the right time, like we would always shower in the time where there was like no one was
ever there.
I got some questions about how BU being less of a campus, more of a city campus school, how does it affect making friends in your social life?
It's more difficult than if you went to like a school with a concrete campus because everyone's doing their own thing. I feel like especially at BU, everyone is doing their own thing and they all have like, they're very driven. It's very academically focused here. So if you want to make friends, you'll make friends. And if you put yourself out there, you will make friends. Yeah. I feel like people are very individual here.
Yeah, and it's also a huge school. So when I first came here, it was really overwhelming because I came from a pretty small high school. So it did make it harder to connect with people. But as long as you're putting yourself out there. So like there's things you can rush. You can go, when you first get to campus, go on your floor, meet everyone on your floor. That's how we ended up meeting
It's awkward at first.
Yeah.
But you'll be thankful for it.
Yeah, and even if you don't end up actually like being close with these people, it's nice to have people the first few weeks of freshman year to hang out with. And then that way you meet other people.
When everyone is new. Like every freshman is new. No one knows each other. Everyone's nervous. You don't understand how many people want to make friends. Like, you could go up to anyone, say hi, and they will want to become friends with you because everyone's in the same boat. So don't feel like you're alone in this. You're not. Trust me.
I was so nervous.
I was
so scared.
Both of us are not the most, like, social butterflies out here.
Yeah.
But we've managed.
We managed. Look at us.
Look at us.
Okay. So this question, I got some about how the professors are and how clubs are.
The professors here are amazing. You obviously have to do your research. There's always like a bad egg.
There's some that you should not sign up for ever.
But overall, the professors here are incredible. They're all super accomplished. Like, you can just, very smart people. I mean, I really look up to a lot of them.
Yeah, I've had great professors. I feel like no matter who, there's probably a few bad eggs.
I said bad eggs earlier too.
You did? make sure you go on Rate My Professor before you even think about scheduling your classes, because it gives you all the information you need. And it doesn't matter, like, I would say if there's a class you want to sign up for at like a good time, I would take the better professor and the worst time over the good time and the bad professor, because it changes your life.
Yeah. No, but we couldn't get into chem. There's this one professor in chem that's the best chem professor, they say.
Yeah.
So
we couldn't get in.
So we emailed him, one of us emailed him, and then we met with him, and he was like, I'll see what I can do, and we got into his class. So if you don't get into a class, just beg them.
Just email them. If you email them, there's a much higher chance of you getting
in. And they're very understanding.
As for clubs,
we don't know much about that.
I signed up for maybe 45 clubs when I first came to freshman year, and I did.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
If you want to be part of a club, you'll be part of a club. Mm-hmm. But we didn't really.
Yeah. I would say join something. So what I'm doing right now, like, I do work with the Alzheimer's Association, and I did that outside of BU. So if you wanted to have, like, some volunteering or something like that, I would say, like, the clubs, there's a lot of clubs at BU, so you have a lot of choices to do that. It's very easy. But if you want to do something outside of that, it's easy to find something in the city that you can join. So, but I would say don't just like have your classes and your friends. You need to have something else that you can put your time into to kind of like, first of all, make you a more well-rounded student, and also just like make your college experience really worthwhile.
There's also something called Splash, where it's like, I don't know about during COVID, but it's this huge event where you like walk around to different booths. All the clubs are there, like sororities, fraternities, whatever. Yeah. So you can just check out what you like and join it, and it's really easy to join a club. Mm-hmm. But if you want to be active in it, be active. Yeah, that's about it. Don't.
Getting used to living away from home. Getting used to living away from home.
Oh, that's a toughie.
That is a toughie. I mean, you'll be fine, but
you talk about you talk about your experience.
So it did take me a year to adjust. Took me a really long time, but now that I've adjusted, this is the best I've ever felt in my life. So there's some hope for you. Basically, how did I adjust? I called my mom 6 times a day, a freshman year. I talked to as many people as I could. I explored Boston. Like, every day I would go somewhere. I would go to a coffee shop. I would go to the Boston Common. I would go to all these places. I dove into my work. I worked so much, just dove in. I worked a lot, and I just tried not to think about it. Yeah. That's really the best advice.
You really have to distract yourself.
Just distract yourself.
For me, I went home almost every weekend.
Yeah, you went home a lot. So she would go home, leave me. I had no friends. I didn't know what to do.
I couldn't cope. I missed my dogs a lot, so I would just go home every weekend, and then I would never hang out with my friends either. So I just didn't get close to them that much. So I don't recommend my approach.
Yeah. Time heals all wounds.
Time does heal all wounds.
It really does. So the more you adjust, the more you really like try to have your experience be as enriched.
I like that word.
Enrich your experience as much as you can, and then it's up to just time going by.
Also, if you know you're gonna be really homesick, I recommend bringing stuff from home, like stuff that'll remind you from home. Like if you have stuffed animals, bring your stuffed animals. Also, no one cares.
Yeah, no one cares. How to choose a roommate. So as you can see, our choosing roommates went really poorly. We hate each other. Okay, so let's describe how we did it, how we met.
Oh, okay, so BU has a housing portal where you can choose your housing, you can choose whatever, but you can also choose your roommate. So they have this thing where you say your habits, like do you smoke, what time do you go to sleep, what time do you wake up, what do you eat, stuff. I don't know, I don't think that's one of them. But and then you can put a biography about yourself, and then it's public information, so then everyone on the housing portal can look at your biography, look at your compatibility. I saw Anna was Russian, and I'm Russian too, or we speak Russian, so I was like I'm not saying what I said.
She said, I'm Russian too.
No, girl. I said, hey girl, I'm Russian too.
What we did was actually really good. So we moved on from the portal system, and we talked on Instagram for a while before deciding we were going to room together. So even though I didn't really know her, I kind of could tell what kind of person she was.
Yeah.
But
I think we also were just really lucky.
Yeah,
like,
we were super. Listen, we're the same person. I don't know how we managed to find each other.
No, honestly,
just don't do random assignments. Don't do that. That's your one thing you should not.
I mean,
do.
you could, but that's a risky one.
You could get a horror story.
You can get a bad. We have heard some bad ones.
It's actually hard living with anyone.
It is.
Like, but except for us.
No, we actually have it pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, workload. Workload.
At BU. It's heavy. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
BU's known for being very like if you don't know BU's difficult, do more research.
Very demanding classes, but is it impossible? No, it's actually very manageable. You have to, college is all about figuring out how to do time management in the best way that works for you.
Just push yourself, go to the library every day.
We go a lot. And you can still, like, even if you're in a really demanding program, you can still have a social life. Just make sure, like, what we did was we would work all day and then have fun at night. We would not go out unless we had, like, everything we had to do done.
Yeah, and it felt better. So. You feel better about yourself too if you get a lot of work done during the day. Because in college, there's no consequences for missing class and missing work. Yeah,
no one's gonna tell you what to do. Like, you have to make sure that you motivate yourself.
Like
enough
in high school, in my high school, you'd get a detention for skipping like 2 classes or something, and you'd get penalized a lot. So no one skipped classes. But here, you skip 8 classes, and then they'll email you at the end of the year like your attendance is like 5%.
Student atmosphere at BU, school spirit, diversity, and political views. BU is a city campus, so it's gonna have like less school spirit than like a school in the South that's like really a campus. But you know, if you want like that part of college, if you want to go to games, like hockey is our main sport, go to a hockey game, you'll find a lot of school spirit there.
Everyone is walking around in BU like gear.
Politically wise, BU's
very liberal.
Yeah, but that's like all colleges, I feel like.
Yeah.
I would say BU is pretty diverse, but there's definitely a lot of work to do.
Oh, like, yeah.
There's ways that we can improve a lot diversity-wise at BU, but like I wouldn't say that it's just not diverse at all. Also, another thing is there's a lot of different communities here. So if you like are of a certain ethnicity, or if you want to like engage with people of the same culture, you can find a lot of different communities from all around the world at BU. That's what I like.
BU is very global. Yeah, there's a lot of people, like a lot of international students here. Class sizes, it depends on what you're doing. So if you're like, let's say you're taking a very general, what are they, introductory course, like chem or bio or something like that, or econ, you're gonna have a lot of people in your class. You're gonna have lectures.
All the one-on-one courses.
All the one-on-one courses, all the introductory. You're gonna have big lectures with like 100 people in it. But you have discussions. So basically every introductory course, there's a discussion with about like 15 to 20 other students. And
that system is really good.
It is.
Because, like, for example, in my econ class, there's 200 people, but we meet in our discussions and we really talk about the things in depth.
I'd say it's pretty good on that front, and you can like gain a pretty good relationship with your professor if you want.
If you want your professor to
go to office hours, email, talk to them. Like you can make yourself noticed by your professor if you need it. So I'd say class sizes are pretty good.
Even if the class sizes are super big, I feel like BU does a good job of kind of like making it feel more intimate. Is it easy to get into classes? So we actually kind of touched on this before.
Depends.
There's gonna be a lot of times where you want to get into a class at a certain time and you won't be able to do it. Here's how the picking classes thing goes at BU. You get a lottery number. Based on that lottery number, so it's by grade. So if you're a senior, you're gonna get a better one than a freshman. Based on priority.
I think seniors like 0 to 1,000.
Yeah,
or 0 to something. And so the earlier you have, the earlier you'll be able to sign up for classes.
Yeah. So if you have a bad lottery number, which I have had, it sucks because you can only register later in the day, and some people get like a 7 a.m. time and they can have first pick. But there's ways that you can get around it. Just make sure you're making a bet. Oh yeah, you did something stupid. I know exactly what you're laughing about.
I had the earliest time you could possibly take classes, and I'm working out at 11 a.m. It was at 7 that I could take it. And Anna's like, hey, what classes did you sign up for? And I was like, that was today. So I didn't get all the classes I wanted, but it still worked out. So even if you don't get the exact class you want or the exact section you want, it'll work out. And if you have a really bad section or class, things open up really
easily.
And
especially in the first 2 weeks after classes start.
Everyone's switching. Everyone's switching out and switching in, so you'll probably find a good opening for some classes.
Yeah, I switched my schedule so many times.
I switched my schedule the day before I got here freshman year, completely. I had a completely different schedule.
I did that too.
And it was fine. Yeah. You'll be fine.
Make sure you make a backup schedule.
Oh, yeah.
This is so important. There's an option on the website to plan. So make a backup schedule, have a bunch of backup classes, because chances are you're not going to get all.
You're not going to get every class you want.
Yeah.
Especially as a freshman, you will not.
Yeah, it's hard. And once again, what we did, go beg your professors to get into their classes. So for rushing a sorority, I actually made a whole video about this. So you can feel free to check that out. I talked about my experience and just overall how it is at BU. So feel free to watch that. I'll link it. Go watch it. This one's about applying ED, which we both did.
Yes.
So people were asking like how to be 100% sure if you want to apply ED or not. So the way that I decided was, I don't know, I came here and I toured BU, which now during COVID, that's not really an option. But when I toured it, also the tour in combination with all the programs and the overall, just the city, I just felt right to me. So I kind of used my intuition in that case. But like, I don't know how to describe this actually, because it's different for every person.
Yeah, it is.
What did you do? How did you even? You didn't even tour. Wait, this is better. This is better.
I didn't tour. But that's my personality. I have this thing where once I just know I want to do something, I don't care. So I didn't tour because my parents didn't want to drive up to Boston. So I just looked at it online. I knew someone that went here, and I also knew I wanted to be in Boston, and I kind of did like process of elimination. I didn't want to go to Northeastern. Didn't want to go to BC. I'm Jewish, so that would have been a little odd. And so the rest I was like, and BU really felt right. And I'm actually like, that was a risky choice for me.
But you did.
But no, I'm really happy here. So it worked out for me. Don't listen to my approach. I feel like Anna's is better.
I don't even have an approach. I was just like,
I think just see if you like it, and if you feel like it's the right place for you, then it's the right place for you.
Just think about the programs. Think about if you can imagine yourself living in that city. Think about the size of the school if you're okay with that. And I would say those are like the three things.
But BU accepts a lot of people ED. So if you know you want to go here, I really recommend ED.
There's a lot bigger
You have a really high chance of getting in.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
So just think about it.
Think about it.
What feels right, do it.
Do what feels right at the time.
Do what feels right at the time.
Yeah.
You create the experience that you want.
Exactly.
You get to create whatever experience in college that you want. And if things take time, talked a lot about this in my What I Wish I Knew Before Freshman Year video. If things take time, that's just how they are supposed to be. It took me a year to adjust, as I said before. And I'm very happy right now. Boston's great.
Boston's
great. Come to BU! Yay! I'm glad we could sit
We're
down.
like a walking advertisement.
We are. Feel free, like, these are questions that I got over DM. Feel free to ask me anything you want. I will answer. Thank you for watching this video, and
subscribe. And like. And comment.
Also, look out for me on the Boston University YouTube channel. I'll be posting videos on there soon. Okay, bye. Love you guys.
You gotta focus on what's real, man.